Washington Commanders free agency talks are starting to heat up. Today's video, we will be discussing the recent reports revolving around contract negotiation with the Commanders locking up a deal for the wide receiver one, Terry McLaurin. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commander Digest, reporting everything all Washington Commanders, off season, regular season, and everything in between. So we want to be caught up to date, everything Washington Commanders. Make sure to subscribe right here to the channel. Today's video will be an update on the developing story of Scary Terry, the Commanders getting a new deal done. We have covered this on the channel before. This is part dos. This is video number 2 on it. Oh no, hold up, that's 4. That's dos. There's the first video, and we also did an update segment in the Jayden Daniels video. It's on the channel. If you haven't seen those videos, go watch those after this one. But it's looking like a deal is more and more likely to get done before the season starts, which is great. The conversations have been made to get a deal done, and it looks like more and more we will see Scary Terry in a Commander's uniform on game 1. We have the stats, we have the quotes. I've done the research. Believe it or not, what people say that I don't do, but I have the research. We've done the research. We're going to be talking about it. Before we dive deep into it, if you're a new watcher, new viewer to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we do have a subscriber goal of trying to hit 500. Yes, 500 subscribers by week 1 of the NFL season. Week 1 is in 13 weeks. I know we can hit it because everything's been on the green. If you know football, the next gen stats, the YouTube analytics are all in the green. Everything's up. You have been running it up. So appreciate that. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer, make sure you are subscribed, because 87.5 of y'all who are watching the videos are not subscribed. That's crazy, because it's for the free skis. It doesn't charge you nothing. It takes like 2 seconds. So subscribe right there. Really appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. Like I said, this is number 2 video talking about this. But just to give you, we're going to hit some of the same beats, some of the same details. This one, Scary Terry laces up his boots for this season. It will be his 7th year, his 7th season in the league. And notable for that is Washington. This will be his 7th year with Washington. Not the Commanders, because if you know, you know. We've talked about it before. Football team and then the Washington, you know. But 7th year with Washington. Now we're going to throw you some details, and you decide on your metrics on, does he deserve this big money contract? Does he deserve it? Do we move on from him? You guys decide. You guys let me know. He has been faithful with the team for through the good, the bad, and the ugly. If you remember when he got drafted back in 2019. It was towards the end. Luckily, he got drafted towards the end of that bad regime, but he was still a part of that bad regime, especially at the end when it did get messy. If you know, you know. It did get messy once, you know, certain people left, yada, yada, yada. COVID, also he played during the COVID seasons for the Commanders, you know, 2020, 2021, you know, with no fans and some fans and restrictions and all this and all that. We're out of that. And then on top of that, he played with 12 different quarterbacks. Yes, 12 different quarterbacks Scary Terry has played with. Comment, if you made it this far into the video, comment down below how many you remember, because there's no way y'all can remember all 12. Because I didn't remember all 12, and I was like, who is this guy? But comment down without cheating, because there's no way. See how many you can remember between the 12 quarterbacks he's played with. Even with that, career averages, he still averaged almost 1,000 yards per season, 1,063 to be exact. So it's great to see that. And then he had one of his best seasons last year, which makes sense, because when you everything we talked about on the channel before, when everything works, everything meshes together, you're just gonna have straight positivity, straight momentum, straight stats going up throughout the whole grade. If the foundation is good, then everything else is gonna fall into place. When you have great quarterback, great coach, great offensive coordinator, great front office, like everything's gonna move perfectly. There's a reason why. There's no surprise after all those listings right there that I just did, that the Commanders have one of their best seasons in a long time. So do you give Scary Terry, how much credit do you put that on Scary Terry? We're gonna look at some of his stats from last year. 82 catches, 1,096 yards. He hit 13 touchdowns, his career high in a season, but also second among all wide receivers. He earned himself his 2nd Pro Bowl, and he also earned 2nd team All-Pro. So just to give you that, just to sway you, we do have some quotes that can play devil's advocate on why the Commanders could be hesitant to give him that long-term big money contract. But both parties, you know, the McLaurin party and the Commanders, they both have it's being reported that they both agreed that he does deserve to get paid among the top 10 wide receivers. Now, once you make, maybe there is a doubt for number 1, but top 10. They both agree that Scary Terry deserves to be top 10. There's also some other facts we gotta hit. Is that Scary Terry will hit 30. Oh dang! I just heard all the TikTok brain rot kids. Unk. I'm not saying it, but that's what the TikTok brain rot kids are gonna say. He does hit 30 in September, so it's looking like a 4-year deal may be out the window. But we do have some projections, some contracts that may not work. You guys decide. He is hitting 30. I've done the research, believe it or not. I was reading through all the stats because people say I don't do the research, but I did. Basically, a wide receiver hit their peak performance between the ages of 24 and 28. Now, that's not me saying, oh, he turns 30, he's going to play bad. Wide receivers can still give you high production, high usage at the age of 30, but once after they hit 30, they do take a noticeable decline. So take that for what it is. We won't know if this is true for McLaurin until next season ends, and then 2 years, 3 years, then we can decide if that's true or not. But that's what the averages are looking like. Once he can still play great, but then after that 30, it does be a decline. So that's why there could be that hesitation to give him a long-term deal. But we're going to look at some of his other stats. We already mentioned some of these, but 17 games he played last season. He caught 82 receptions out of 117 targets. I'm not a math major, but I know that's over 50%. Yards, 1,098. Touchdown, 13. 13.4 yards per reception. He's a certified bucket. Wrong sport, but you get what I mean. Every time he touches the ball, statistically, that's a first down. First downs, 56. Yards per game, 65. Longest rush, 86. Height, 6 foot. Like I said, the 29. He's 29 right now, but once the season starts, he will be 30. We're going to look at what Tony Adam from Heavy Sports has to say about playing that devil's advocate on why the Commanders are hesitant to give him that big money contract. While McLaurin has 5 consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards, he's only finished in the top 10 in the NFL receiving yards once in 2022, and he was 10th with 1,191. He's also only finished in top 10 in receiving touchdowns once when he was second with 13 touchdowns in 2024. So like I said, this does play that devil's advocate on why the Commanders could be hesitant to make him number 1, number 5, but top 10. He wants to get paid that top 10 level wide receiver, but the Commanders have a good argument here. How can you want to be paid in the top 10 if you hardly touch those top 10 stats? Receiving yards, he did hit 1,191, but that was that 10th spot. And then how much does recency bias play into this? Because he did hit top 10 touchdowns once, but that was last year with 13. So how much do you consider his whole career over his 2024 stats? But then you also got to consider, look how good he played with 12 different quarterbacks, so that has to influence the stats right there. Like, how can you guys decide in the comments what metrics count, which ones don't. And that's what they have to play devil's advocate on why the Commanders could be hesitant. We also have Tony again with some scenarios that he presented on what the contract could look like if the Commanders and him come to terms. Putting all those things into contract stew, the right offer for McLaurin should be a 3-year, $87 million extension that pays him approximately $29 million per season. Another track might lead player and team to a 2-year, $62 million offer that pays him $31 million per season. The first offer puts McLaurin at number 9 on the list of NFL's highest paid wide receivers. The second bumps him to number 6. So let's break it down. Comment down below, which contract do you think is better for McLaurin? Do you take the 3 years? These are all speculations. Obviously, nothing's concrete. 3 years, $87 million. That gives you $29 million guaranteed. But that takes you at the number 9 position among highest paid. Or do you go with the 2 years, $62 million, $31 million per season, and that bumps him up to number 6. It's all being swayed. Nothing's concrete. This can all change. But what do you guys think in the comments? Do you guys think which contract would y'all take? I mean, whichever one he takes, can a homie hold $1? Because yeah, throwing around $31 million, $29 million per season, like nothing. Like, can a homie hold $1? But these all have their different benefits. and disadvantages. You go with a 3-year. Yes, you lock him up. But do you put yourself in that situation where you lock up a wide receiver till 32, 33, and then does he play the high value of that contract? But then if you give him the 2 years, you might have another stage where you have contract negotiations again at 32, and it is what it is. I'm not the one. That's above my pay grade. At the end of the day, I don't make those decisions. That's for AP and Gang to decide if Scary Terry is worth it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that some of the fan base is saying, oh, blank check, give him whatever he wants, let him pay whatever, or are you guys he is on the older side, can be hesitant, maybe move on to it? I personally believe you have something special with these two guys right here, Jayden Daniels, Scary Terry. Jayden Daniels is hitting his 2nd year into the league. Scary Terry had one of his best seasons last year with him. I personally believe it could develop into something great. I believe you keep it. The Commanders have the monies. They have the monies to pay him. So I believe a deal will be done. If you remember, I covered it before on the channel. Not covered it, but I mentioned it. Commanders were a 3rd among all cap spates once the offseason starts. And they're projected to hit, I believe, 6 by the end of next year. So the money is going to be there. So what do you guys think? Oopsie, move that out the way. Do you think Scary Terry deserves it, or is it a no for you? Let me know in the comments down below. If anything breaks among the Commanders atmosphere, you know will be covered right here on the channel. So, my name is Azael Mejia with Commander Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.